Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of Notte Game. Um, it's been a little bit, but we already went over a bit of a review a while back, so I do remember most of what we were planning to do. Or rather, I went ahead and looked through a good number of things, and I also decided to make the move from Visual Studio to just VS Code because with the actual Visual Studio, I was, if you remember from a very long time ago, I planned on just making like a full Windows application, right? It was like the whole app, visual graphics and all. So Visual Studio is a good contender. It supposedly makes some things easier, but I couldn't get it to work because I can't read. So we went ahead and developed a little bit of a console instead. It's just a small exe where it just kind of outputs things on your terminal, and it tells you, "Ucha, I'm the game. Send some inputs." That's pretty much it. Type up something and whatnot, right? So then, okay. With that being the case, right, I went ahead and, booted up. Well, I just made the console version in Visual Studio, but I remembered, after all this time, Visual Studio Code does exist, and it's used for, more lightweight projects, and this is a lightweight project. So I have no problems working with this, as you can also tell here. If we take a look at all of our, I guess, files, right? I mean, they're all very organized, like, sort of like objects, right? We have classes and whatnot. But you'll notice that we have, compared to last episode, you'll see that we have a whole bunch of files and folders that have disappeared because we don't need them anymore. They're gone, they're useless, they're extra, they're heavy. Yeah, all we need are these files. That's all we need. And that's honestly really clean, I think. So good. Now then, what are we adding today? Well, we were about to do something with the monster over here. This is explaining what the monster does. And this here is, right, it's fitting out what the monster has. I think I actually want to approach the stats. Okay, I don't know why we have C stats. That just shouldn't exist. I can probably go ahead and say delete that entirely. We'll remove that. We don't need that. I don't know where that came to be, but it disappears. Right. I think right now, what we've done is we've sort of established all of these values as separate integers within the class and their default values. Now, part of the issue with this here is that when I want to retrieve a stat, I have to go to call each and every single one of these. Right? I have to call each and every single one of these functions which, I mean, it's readable. That's okay, right? But as I probably discussed earlier, right? I kind of wanted to do like an array, right? An array of stats, and we already know where the stats are. And if we want to retrieve a stat, we just kind of go, okay, what index do we want? We can go from there. We already know it's a condensed. It's condensed. And I mean, you can do a little bit of strange things with it. So it's kind of a question of whether do I want something more readable, or do I like? I mean, to be fair, like it's all readable anyway. It's really simple things, right? And also like it. I think just in good programming in general, right? It can. Well, actually, no. It doesn't exactly condense all of this, does it? Because we're still, if we change it to like just a stats array, we're still gonna be like, okay, we need to get that's an index of 0, right? So it doesn't change things too much. I suppose. So where in the world, right? So yeah, that does beg the question, do we even need these? Wait. Hold on. I might have misread things. Okay, these are the combat stats. Wait, then what are these supposed to be for the monster? Uh-oh. I didn't read that one through. What should we do? What do I do, actually? Hang on, let me reread this. We gotta make sure. Oh. I don't know why. Okay. Right, because with a void, I'm not actually returning any values. I'm just going right over to that stat and doing what I need to with it. Yeah. Now, maybe I could. Okay. This might be more trouble than it's worth. But what if I went ahead and said I am going to go a little bit lower leveled and touch upon a bit of C programming, not C++, but C, and say, why don't I allocate memory for the monster and make sure that that's all the memory that it takes up? Because if I constrain myself into that little array of integers, then I know that's what I have to adjust. Wait a second. Okay, well then yeah, like that's exactly what I need to do with this array. Which means that we don't actually need this stat at all. I'm gonna comment that out and say, yes, we're gonna have a monster. Actually, structure, class. What's the difference? Let me check. Difference between struct and class in C++. In a structure, they're private. Sorry, in a structure, they're public. In a class, they're private. Okay. Yeah, no, that's what I need. That's good then. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter if I do class or if I do struct. Either one works, so we'll keep this. This is okay. Yeah. So instead of having just an int a, we should call it int stat. These are our statistics, right? I think C stats might have been for combat stats. But, oh, that's right. Yeah, if that's the case, it should be C stats. C stats, yeah. So these are our combat stats. And I'm just gonna toy around with these for now. I'm not going to add anything extra here. So in our C stats, I believe I need a... Actually, why am I even separating these? I'm gonna do it. But that's okay. I don't even know why I can get away with a colon here. Instead of a semi... Or instead of like curly brackets. I guess that's just the syntax. Right? Yeah. I know it works, so. No. Okay, yeah, here's the public, right? And we want void get C stat. With this, I can go ahead and say I need an index. Alright? And it's going to tell me this doesn't work anymore. Writing that out to the stats. Dead. See, stats is undefined now. Uh-oh. Void monster met. Oh. Hey. And this is the header. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the header. Header file. And then I go in here, the HP get function. What I want to do is I already threw away all of this. I'm effectively not using it right now. Right, I need to declare that as well. And then life is good. So we get our index. And if we do that, we just have to put index in here. And so it'll spit out whatever index we give it now. Which means if I go into ranch menu, it's going to go status. Okay, let's go into status. That Pokemon method. Right, that's just testing, right? We want to get C-stat, and let's say we call index 0. Okay, this should give us almost the same thing, I think. Because what we're changing here is we're just gonna go, well, I don't want to copy and paste this for all of this, right? I'm just gonna have one function that says get C-stat, and it's just going to grab whatever is in this array here. And if we go beyond that array, that's gonna give us a nasty error. Then I guess, okay, so get prints this out. I guess the one thing that I might want to consider is still retaining things like get HP, right? Or get one particular stat. Oh no, wait, I already do that. Yeah, no, never mind. I don't need all of this. Well, it does end up printing my HP though. But that is technically extra work on our end. Because when I want to get HP, I should just need to return the value. And then everything else is reliant upon whatever that the rest of the function does. I guess, yeah. That is kind of extra work. So I'm going to do this. Define this as integer. And this is going to yell at me. It's going to tell me you now want to define this as an integer. And then because this actually prints out your C-stat. See, I don't actually want this anymore. I actually want it to just be a very, very simple return C-stat index. That's all it needs to do. That's all we need. Now, I think I might actually get an error because if we look at this, right, it actually prints out the stat for us, right? So, with the way I'm calling it now, I might have an issue. If I decide to, where is it? Call it here. Because I'm gonna have to do something like this. I have to set a value to this, and then I'm going to have to go here and where is it? Print the actual HP value here, like so. And when I do that, I'll go ahead and run this. Compile that. Build is finished. Very nice. Alright, You guys can't see anything right now, which means I have to pull up the exe here. So let me go ahead and boot up the exe. Alright. I booted up the exe. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a nice Windows capture for that. Here's Notte Game, covering the rest of the code. And now if I go ahead and go to ranch, that is, okay, there we go. There we go. So you'll see right here that I pressed, hold on, let me go back, something, let me double check, ranch, go back again, so I hit 1, go to ranch, status, okay, when I hit status it prints out 1, then it prints out our HP, that's a little weird, so let's see what's going on. So when we enter the status menu, let me actually go ahead and minimize this. You should be able to see everything now. We have our monster. We initialize that. Luckily, I don't think we should initialize monster in there. That's just temporary, right? The monster should be just something that's stored properly outside of everything that everybody can access. You gotta interact with it. You gotta be able to interact with it almost anywhere. So it shouldn't be instantiated here, but this is just for demonstration, well, quick demo purposes for now, right? Then look at this here. We input 1 to get status. Go into the status menu, but it prints out a singular 1 here. Well, I initialize this, right? But that didn't print out an extra 1 here. Kinda weird. What if I did this? So, I'll go ahead and do that. Because, yeah, it seems to be sort of cooperative with that. Oh. I also need to remove that. It seems to be cooperative like this, so maybe I can get away with just not even assigning another integer. I can just directly grab it with this function here. And that might remove that extra 1 that I'm getting from somewhere. I'm getting an extra 1 printout somewhere. I don't know where it is. Which means I'm gonna exit out of that, run this again. Okay. Let me try that again. Alright. I think we have gotten something here. Here is everything. We're still getting that extra 1 somewhere. Could it be, outside? It would be outside, actually. Let me check. menu comes from, I believe, branch menu. Branch menu. Huh. That's true. Yo, is this gonna be a CLI game? Yeah? Pretty. Sort of? Command line? Yeah, oh, you meant command line. Yeah. Yeah, this is basically gonna be a command line game. That's as much as we're gonna get. That's as far as we're gonna get here. Okay, I can't figure out where that one is, that extra one is coming from, but I'll go ahead and ignore that for now because everything else seems to be working. Oh wait, maybe it's because, okay, no, I'm clowning on myself. You see, not console here, right? I should be compiling, over here. I should be running that thing right there. Not, wherever I was looking at before. Let me go ahead and, actually, let me go ahead and, fix some things here. I'm going to close out. Where is it? Not you. Not you. Not you. Not you. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna close out on all of this first. I'm gonna pull it back up. Sealed tools library. Okay, that cleans things up a little bit. And I'll go ahead and pull. Where's the main menu now? No, wait. I'll run the not console. I'll open your backup. Open it all back up. Okay. Perfect. Then I should be able to hit that run button. And it'll build. Yeah. Yes, okay, very nice. So if I go ahead and run not console now. One. Perfect. It's running as intended now. Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Life is good. It works as intended. A library. Well, as nice as the library sounds, right? I think I'd rather like do this like small little exercise without it. And once I am content with most of the logic and the game itself, I'll go ahead and, actually get maybe try and get that command line tool library working, because I guess part of it is that I do need to understand the oh wait, where did that window go? Is it not showing up? Or did I accidentally minimize it? Oh, there we go. Okay, we're back. There. Does that ruin everything? No? Okay, that's good. So, I think, yeah, we can close this out again. We can close it, and go back in here. Yeah, I can... What do we have here right now? Well, we have our combat stats, right? And this is a combat stat order. I'll go ahead and copy and paste this over right here. Then we have, what other stats do we have again? Let me go ahead and go into our status menu. We have S stats and we have potential stat. P stats is for potential. S stats. Where did I write down what S stats was? I know I have it somewhere. Skill stats. Yes, there we go. Alright, okay, so now the question becomes, how complex do I want to make the skill stats? Because, as you can see here, right, we can initialize skills like this. I go into... I copy and paste this, I think it should work, honestly. Because what is the monster made up of? Combat stats, right? And then skill stats. And then potential stats. Let's go back into key stats where I type things up. Yeah, here's stats. Actually, do I want to... I think I'll change the syntax to... sorry, not the syntax, the... What do you call it? Well, I guess it's kind of called syntax, the notation. I think I'll keep that lower. I think I'll keep everything lowercase for in there. This gets us that. Nah. Whatever I'm doing right now is okay. It should be fine. So this with a little bit of a capitalization there. What is it called again? Capital case? Yeah. I think that's the term. So, now... oh, right, that's gonna be weird, actually. Hang on. So, you'll notice that, we have the skills now. But... we don't have the skill name. And, a name is going to have to be a string. So we're gonna have to do this, and we're gonna say skill name 1. We're gonna have to give it like a maximum character length of 10, maybe. So its default is going to have to be skill name, right? Well, actually, we just call it skill 1, right? And so if the player inputs anything past 10 characters, then we're just going to truncate that. It just gets cut off. Actually, what if I made it 8? Or can I afford to like give me, actually, yeah, let's afford 15 characters. We're gonna be generous in our allocation. 15 whole characters. We can make some sort of long skill names. Get creative with those. I could probably go ahead and sort of rearrange them like this. I don't know, do I want to put it like that? Or do I want to arrange everything appropriately? I think this looks fine though. I think that's fine. Well, the question, one of the questions becomes like, am I loading off too many things into this monster class now? Because skills kind of do, they might get a little complex. Yeah, I need to go ahead and read. So, okay, so each skill has a characteristic and a max value and a current value. The skill can have up to 3 characteristics. I see. And I think 0 means... What does 0 mean? What should 0... 0 should mean that it doesn't exist. Or... Actually, should that mean that, it doesn't... Okay, so it's either it doesn't exist... Actually, what if I said -1? What if I said the skill is -1? So... If the skill is... If the ID is -1, that means it doesn't exist. And... we can start from there instead. Or I can do 0. If I do 0, well, at the very least, a default... The default skill should have characteristic 1, right? And that just means it's a regular attack, I think. No. We're gonna keep it 0 for now. Actually, no. We're gonna keep it at 1 for now. It's going to change depending on what type of monster you choose to start off with, though. Then we have the potentials, right? And this is just, they come in pairs. Though I might maybe try like a double array. So like this, right? Because technically you do have a, you know, potential. Sorry, you do have a, what do you call it? You do have a current potential value and a maximum potential value in each of these. So it sort of makes sense to store them like that, and when you call them, you don't have gymnastics of, Actually, no, I could actually try, I could actually do gymnastics. I can still do mental gymnastics with this, right? If I want the maximum potential... I'll say slime, then all I would do is say, okay, so maximum potentials are odd indices because we start counting from 0, which means I just need to take, what is it? Well, let's say slime is, at index 0. Well, slime is the first cut 2, which means, how do we do this? I take 2, well, I take 0, and I multiply by 2, and I add 1 to it. And if I get current potential, I would just do 0, multiplied by 2. And I don't need to do a +1 here. That reminds you of Yandex streams when you were in middle school? Um, I... You have me speechless there. That's all I'm gonna say. So, I mean, I could do that, right? I could do that. But, however, if I did go ahead and say, I want this to be a 2-dimensional array, then I could go ahead and say, alright, well, if I want to get my maximum potential of, I don't know, whatever, then I would go ahead and call something like pstats. This would have to be monster. This would be the monster type, right? And then this would have to be either 0 for current potential, 1 or 1 for max potential, right? So that's how you would do it. And I think that might be a better way of defining that, because when I want to categorize monster types, I am not going to be calling, okay, so slime is equal to, slime is a type 0, right? Dragon is type 2. No. And the pattern goes on like lizard. Well, sorry, I mean avian is a type 4. No, you don't want to count in 2s, right? Nor do you want to go, okay, this is like 0. This is 1. This is 2. And then I could, this would therefore be like, if I want to get slime, it's 0 times 2. If I want to get dragon, it's 1 times 2. I mean, it does the same thing, I guess. But in terms of, like, readability, I don't know, actually, that's a good question. No, this one works. This works. This, I like that. Just do this. Trust me, it'll make life a lot easier. So we have that, we have that, we have that, and that hopefully makes our data structure a little bit better. While I am just playing with, hold on, what is this telling me? What is this? Oh. Monster. Monster potential stats. Yep. Oh, this is, oh, it's just telling me to comment my code. Okay, I'm gonna ignore that one. I could do this, right? And the way I call things is a little bit easier. It changes things up. I guess I do less math, actually, if I divide it that way. Because I don't have to go through the arithmetic process of adding +1 to retrieve from the array. So that does that does sort of beg the question, am I taking extra steps to retrieve from the array? Because it's a two-dimensional? And I think that the answer is yes, but it should be fine. I mean, at the very end of the day, it doesn't really matter because computers can definitely handle all of this nonsense. Yeah, I'm overthinking things. It's okay. That also therefore begs the same thing with the skills. Do I want to go ahead and make them, 3 threes, right? So I can go ahead and call the... what's it called? So I can go ahead and say, here's my ID, here's my current value, here's my maximum value, and just sort of split that up, right? It's a little bit more complex, but I think it's worth it. Do I want to? No, I don't want to do that. That's fine. That is fine. I do not need to touch that. Okay. So here we have combat stats, we have our skills, and we have our potential. Combat stats are just... yeah, you just do that. So we want to get our stat. That should be a function here. Actually, why am I defining all of this in the header? What's up with this? Why am I not using that? What's going on? I feel like the header just calls the void status menu. Why am I doing all of this? Alright. Because this is, I think, where I actually set things up. So if I wanted to say... what is it? I put these stats in here, right? When I do that, and then initialize a monster or instantiate one, that is going to overwrite whatever I do. So if I go ahead, it's a monster, if I set up a monster, to be, and I do this, right? See, I'm changing the hit points to 10 instead of just 1. This is the default setup. Right, these are all the default values. If I go ahead and I change things in here, and I run right here, go into the main, I build, give it a bit, I can read up all of these. Just a second. I'm getting a build error. That's no good. What did I do wrong? Let me see here. Cannot open. Permission denied. Did I? I forgot to exit. Didn't I? Oh no, it's because it's here. In there, okay. I have it open, even though I shouldn't have. Okay. Huh? Okay, there are no problems. What? What is wrong with you? Why can't I build anymore? Yeah, it's right here, right? I'll close it up. And run the build file. What does that error even mean, man? So dumb. Let's see. Huh. Oh. Huh. Okay, watch this. I'm actually going to close this, right? Well, actually, no. Let me try and reset this. Refresh somehow by open a folder. Where was that debugging? Select my run. It should build. Please tell me it builds properly. What? No way. Let me hit that restart. Okay, I'm gonna hit that restart. Okay, there it is. Terminal is still running. It is still open. Let me exit. Okay. Oh, perfect. Now it builds. Alright. Got ourselves another version here. So hopefully if I check my stats... Oh, huh. It's at 1. You see that? It's still at 1, huh? And I thought it overrode. I guess not. What if I did this? What if I... Is it possible to just remove that? What happens then? Am I gonna get errors? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get errors. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is for then. Well, what if I do this? I said I want to get HP. I'm gonna initialize it. No instance of overload function matches the specific type. monster, public monster. Oh, okay. I have to do this. I have to say, okay, look. When I instantiate a monster, I want it to pick in an HP value. So then it's gonna tell me, yeah, you go get that HP, and I'm gonna do, say, C stats. 0 is now equal to HP. Okay. Now if I do that, if I go to, where is it, here now, it's gonna tell me, uh-oh, you can't just do that, you need to give me a number. I'm gonna give it a number. And I give it 10. So if I go here and I say, give me a solid, go ahead and run, go ahead and build yourself again. And then I'll go ahead and pull the console here. Go to status. Yes, that does indeed update. As you can see here, our HP value is now 10. So that does do what we intended to do. That's good. That's good to know. I'll go ahead and change things up again. I actually don't want that to happen. I want to be able to initialize a regular monster without any of this. Go into H, monster H, and do just that. Fixes it, other than going in, I think, here, and removing that as well. I might actually have to do that if I, what's it called? If I want to, I guess, maybe define certain somethings? I guess? Maybe. And so that's it, gets C stat. This is set. So you want to be able to set and get and set. Right? Should that be full? Should that be int or should that be void? That should be void. Actually, no. There is a reason why you might want to return a number when you do this, okay? I think what I want to do here is go ahead, do this, do that, do that, and do that. Okay? Oh, but I also need a value. So I'll keep the index there, but I also want a value that I'm setting it to. Right, so stats index is equal to the value, and then we just want to return that. I can return value. I don't actually have to return cstats index because it's going to be the same thing, but I could do this just to make sure that I'm actually updating things the right way. Now, when I call set cstat, right, what usually happens is how do I explain it? Okay, what what usually happens is I update this value. Well, I update the stat, right, with our given value, right? And then after I update that given stat, I return whatever value that I'm supposedly updating it with. Actually, that should be. I should just do that. That is perfectly fine. Actually, I don't need to make sure. I think there's no way this can go wrong. Not unless I do something really like silly that I don't know of. So that should be okay. What happens here is I return a value, right? So if I do something like print let's see that, I can actually do this now. If I call this, right, what's going to happen is, because it wants me to print it's going to tell me to print out the integer value, like value of whatever we've updated. Because normally if it's a void, you don't get anything. And I mean, I guess that's definitely fine, right? You don't need to return something every time it happens. But if we do this, you can actually now call it in things like, let's say we have something like updates, row. We have, let's say we have something in ranch, right? And we go into the ranch and we say your stat increased by, well, your stat is now set to, and you can actually call the C stat right here. And because of the way we set this up, well, actually, it's very improper syntax here. This is very improper syntax. It'll be closer to something like this, right? What'll happen is, normally we would have to go ahead and say, okay, let's update our stat, right? And then after we update our stat, we have to use the get stat command to actually call it, right? But if I do this, that's all I have to call, and then it will update my value already, because that's built in here. I'm not sure if that's a really good explanation. I really botched that. Kinda hard, not gonna lie. But the idea is that it's a void type. I think what happens is I can't return. This doesn't work, right? It's not gonna be happy with me. So I guess another thing here is that it might be extra work. But again, that's something we can afford here with a little bit better computers. I say a little bit, a lot better than like retro games, right? So you can get well, and sometimes it actually does condense the code lines, actually. Because another thing here is that I will usually have to call get stat after I call set stat if it's not an integer type function. Because if I have this right, this is all one line, right? I need like I think let me get the proper syntax here. It's SEDC out. Do something like this. Oh, and I need to pull it out. Yeah, it's gonna be mad at me because it's a CCP file. Well, actually, it should be fun. What am I talking about? Oh, it's because it's outside of everything, right? So you're like, no, you can't do that, right? So this is our expected output, right? Expected output. This is our expected output. What happens here is since we can't see stat, the stats index is now equal to our value. So this happens. And then, but we don't see that happen because that happens in the back of the terminal. The command line doesn't tell you, nothing is printed. But then after that happens, the command line will the terminal will go ahead and print out your stat is now set to say like 100. I'm gonna tell you that. And if you ever want to check, right, we can go ahead and say, okay, well, let's just get cstat to double check that. Say index 0, so we're just gonna say we updated our HP somewhere. And I guess if we're gonna call HP, let's just put that example to 0, 100, right? So when we do that, it'll tell us, it'll return us, I think, well, we do need to print that out, right? So that should give us what? Yeah, that should return us 100. So that's what's gonna happen. This is what our expected output looks like. Meanwhile, say I think if we did not have our return value whatsoever, and we had this set to void, then what we would have to do is we would need 2 lines for this, right? We would first need to go ahead and actually call set cstat. And then we would have to go here and call getStat. That's how it would look. So this would actually be necessary. And so cstat does still do that, and we still get that output. And we can use this just proc check to check if that is the right value. So I'm actually gonna put that in practice. Yeah. And that extra line is like extra memory space, and I don't want to do that like every single time I call something. At the end of the day, this just kind of is like at the end of the day, I'm going to need an extra line anyway, so I might as well put that here. I say it saves space, but it might not in the long run because I don't know how the rest of this is going to look exactly, but I think that's it should work. I think it should be fine. So we're gonna mess with this a little bit more, right? So we're gonna print out HP and then go ahead and update it. Actually, no. So just to make sure. So if we call everything, I'm actually going to do this instead. So we're going to update the HP to 100, right? So if I go ahead and go back here and build the game, and run the game, we should be able to get it. Let's go race, let's go status. Okay, and let's hit 1 all. It's actually gonna tell us that we set update our stats, right? Yes, that's exactly what I was looking for. Now, the strange thing here is that our HP has not been updated. So I've clowned on myself, incredibly so, because the thing does not apparently do what it's set out to do. Now, if I decided to... I guess... do this? If that works, then we have a problem. I'm just gonna add that set stat raw, very raw update. Oh wait, no. It's because I think right, it initializes this monster Pimon within the while loop. If I do that, if I initialize the monster outside of the while loop, that should make it less prone. Dork? Did I hear a dork? How could you? How could you? How could you distract me like this? I've lost my train of thought because of you. How could you dork me at this crucial moment in time? You know what? Take this dork back. I'll dork you back here. Watch. I'm gonna... add in a little extra spice for you. Let's see if this works. Hey, there's your dork. You see that? It's gonna print out. I'm gonna get the computer to call you a dork. Go into... go build. And then since I don't continuously instantiate a new monster every single time, yeah, since I don't instantiate a single new monster every single while loop, well, every single time the while loop iterates, sorry, I'm stuttering here, let me rephrase that. Well, let me re-articulate that. Since I'm not re-initializing the player monster every single time the while loop iterates, as the monster class is now set, well, it's now set outside the loop, we should see this stat increase happen. There we go. Let me pull up the console. Let me call. Okay. Here's a moment of truth, okay? You just got dorked. Your stat is now set to 100, dork. And yes, as you can see there, the loop returns, and our HP is now set to 100. Very nice. That is what I like to see. Yes. Okay, so it does work as intended. I did not foul myself too hard there. We're good. We're okay. So yeah, this is just something you can do. And for monster Pokemon here now. Okay. That works. Yeah, I'll just put the monster outside of here, as it should be, by the way. The monster should be initialized in another place, actually. I think it should actually be initialized in, where is it, the main, right? And once we have the main, we should be able to grab it from anywhere. Kind of weird, actually. Like, where do I even store that? How do I even get to it? Right? It should be public, too, so, like, I'm not sure. Let's see, okay. See, like, if I go ahead and say, I want a monster, in... Where is it? Oh, all the way over here, right? And then I set up the monster here. Yeah. Oh no, I don't need all of that. Okay, yeah, it was just registering things. I already set things up properly. Phew, okay. Where was I? Right. Let me do this. Wait. Does that actually work? No. Yeah, that's what I thought. Player monster is undefined. Now, I initialized it all the way up here, but it's not being very nice about it, right? So that's a little bit of a problem. Now, technically, if I went ahead and I grabbed all of this, right? And I threw it all inside here. Oh, no, sorry. I threw it all inside here. I would not have a problem. Except that, I'm defining a function within a function, which is actually, kind of nasty. I don't think I'm supposed to do that here. But outside of that, right, you'll notice that, you know, I don't even need to, do all of this jumping. Well, sorry. I don't even need all of these files, right? I can just condense them in this thing, and I can have them jump to which specific deal I want them to work on. And you'll also notice that things like the main menu is relatively... The function for the main menu is relatively simple, right? Like, why do I even have an entire folder for this? You don't need that. So let's put the monster back. And then remove that because that doesn't do anything. So yeah. Oh, it's a little strange. That does beg the question though, can I do this? If I include that thing... Oh. Okay, sure. Can I say... no, it doesn't like that. You have to put it inside... You have to throw it inside main. Of course you have to. Oh, man. Oh man. What do I do? Yeah, because with the way these things sort of work, I have no choice but to make a quote-unquote local initialization of the monster every single time I want to do something. And, well, that's not what I want to do exactly, because at the lowest level, well, not the lowest level, but at a lower level understanding of what I think is supposed to be happening is go back into our monster here. When we set this up, right? When we set this up, well, actually, we set all of this up, right? This is our guidelines for our monster cut. And so when we go ahead and we actually, where is it? Yeah, when we initialize monster Pmon, we're actually allocating memory and going, I need this amount of space to store this amount of, well, all of these numbers, right? All of this data about our monster. And so when that happens, it should be written in memory. And so if I could, like, point to it and edit that specific value, then I wouldn't have a problem. The issue here is, well, I'm not doing that with, how I'm doing things right now, I think. And I'm not sure how I want to go about making that work, but that's actually probably the next thing I want to do. I can worry about, like, printing out all the other stats later, because with that, here's everything. You just have to do, you know, I could do, 4. And I equals 0. I is less than size of... What happened? Oh. Must have hit a keyboard weird key there. Size of Pmon dot stat. I think. Where is it? Oh, it's private, so I can't exactly access it. Oops. Alright, that's fine though, because I don't need size of. I already know it's 10, so I actually don't need to reference it that way. It's a little risky. I wouldn't do this. I would actually, like, make a proper function within the monster to actually grab the C stats, so it can be a little bit more flexible. But that's another issue altogether. So for now with this band-aid, you know, I can go like, yeah, you know, we're gonna do that, right? We're just gonna see out it, right? And I think that should be a /n. It should be Pmon. Forget C stat of I, right? do that, we can go ahead and wait, I'm getting another error. Oh, there. Oh wait, I almost forgot. Ah, need to increment. I need to increment it. Increment every time, or else it'll just be infinite. Let it build? Nice. If I do that, and I go ahead and I call console, you should be seeing that. Yeah, okay, you saw that. It shows up. Okay, yep, there it goes. It prints all of our combat stats. Very nice. So yeah, that's relatively simple thing. That's a relatively simple thing to do. And I'll make it more malleable. So for now, I'll go ahead and comment block that out. That doesn't exist anymore. So I'll be able to reuse some of this later with a few edits. Now, I think what I want to do here is, see what I can do with this, right? That's sort of our main issue, is that I can't grab my monster values every single time I'm working with it. There might be a case where I want to make a copy of the monster, so I don't actually accidentally destroy its raw base values, such as a stat buff in combat, right? So under combat might be the one time I want to make a copy, or maybe not an entire copy, but make sure that the values that are being adjusted aren't completely permanent. Then next I want, okay, yeah, okay, I remember what I was gonna do. So I want this to be something just global, universal. So how do I do that? Let me see. Let's see here. Global. So how does a global variable work? Huh? Well, no, wait. You can initialize global variables like that. Yeah. I don't see why not. Hang on. What's the issue with that? Yeah, you should be able to set that outside. Yeah. We do that, right? There we go. Right? That works. Huh. Let me put that out. Okay, well then, why am I not getting that then? Why does that not work? Because I'm referring to the global Pmon, right? That's so strange. You know, I'm starting to think maybe, yeah, it might be a better idea to, move all of these into just one, one folder. I mean, sorry, not one folder, one file. The more I think about it, the more these things are a little bit of a headache when it comes to, wow. Right? I don't get it there. Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem. I could just copy and paste that over here and call it good, call it done with, right? Hmm. It's unidentified. Hmm. Which means I think I need to link it somewhere, somehow. It's a linking issue, I think. Okay, let's see. Access external variable from another file. Wait. Oh. Um. If I. Oh, how do I do that? How do I do that? Okay, okay. I think I need to go in here. And oh, I see. Okay. Because of how we're doing everything, kind of like because since we're doing everything globally anyway. Sorry, not globally. Since we're doing everything kind of like object oriented anyway. I might as well go ahead and make a global object that stores all of our global data that we need to use. Which means, I need to make a new file. I need to call it global.h. And then what I need to do with it is define globals. Right? say yes, I do have an external. And it's a monster Pokemon. But I also need, what was it? Oh, I also need to include monster. Then I need to make sure, and I make another file global.cpp. And with global.cpp, I need to do include global.h. And I need to go ahead and set monster Pokemon. I also need to go ahead and include monster.h as well, just to make sure. And did I mess up something with the when I define this? I'm not sure. Did I? Did I mess that up? Hold on. Should be this one. No, that still gives you errors. I'm not sure what's wrong here. Oh, right. I forgot to, yeah, I forgot to end if. There we go. Okay, now it's happy. Now it's happy. So, now that we've defined this external monster Pokemon here, I just need to go ahead and say, let's include global. And it's happy! Here we go, now that is the very same Pokemon we will be working with and we can work with. That way I don't have to repeatedly call a bunch of player monsters every time. Okay, so I don't need to instantiate anything anymore. That's perfect. So global sets that up for us. That's like one of the first things it does, right? It does all of that. I wonder what you actually call that though. Like, when does that happen? I guess it just happens. I guess it just happens. Or at the very least, I think it should happen before anything because we're including it, which means we have to go in there and we have to go grab it, right? Since our main.console.cpp here actually doesn't require, actually doesn't call anything about the monster. We don't actually do anything here, but what I can do here is just to make sure, right? Just to make sure. I'll do this as a temporary adjustment, right? Okay, so global H. Before I do anything, I'm gonna go ahead and say, Pokemon. I go 0, 1, 200. And it works! You see that? It works. It works perfectly fine. Oh, this is great. This is ideal. It's coming together. It's slowly coming together. Then if I go ahead and I build this again, I'm gonna eat up all these files and tell me it works? Yes. Perfect. All I needed to do. All I wanted. Oh yes. Let's run that again. And you'll notice here, actually, let me minimize this for a moment. Okay. So now since we have a global player monster variable. I mean, player monster and you can call it an entity and object wherever, but we just have a global player monster, right? So we've set that up. And in our, not even our main menu, just like the console initialization, where we can, you see that we're able to finally access that global variable, and we can call it and we can set its stat, right? So I've set its HP, right? Which is index 0 to 200. And with that in mind, I am now going to go ahead and go into my status menu. I'm going to grab its stat. And because I am referencing that same global player monster, I should be able to, well, I am expecting a 200 out of this. So here is our moment of truth. We get 1, 200! Oh, look at that, that's great. That's really nice. Okay. And I think another thing that I can do is, like, if I do this 0 0, that actually jumps me back. Oh, let's see, I can actually do 1 1 1, right? Oh yeah, that actually loops me, which is interesting. So if I do this, it actually reads it one by one. It reads my input, so I can actually do multiple inputs, right? I go back to the main menu, right? And I go 1 1 1. It'll take me to the stat branch, it'll take me to the status, and it'll take me to status again. Wow. That's pretty cool. And I can go backwards too. I can hit 0 0 and it takes me back to the ranch and then back to the main menu. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. That's sort of an unintended function, but it's a shortcut so you can speed through things, I guess. Hey, if it works, it works, and it doesn't damage the program. Okay, that is honestly a really huge step forward. I'm quite happy with this outcome. There's a lot I can do. There's a lot I can do now. Especially with this global setup. That's going to be huge because we also want, like, enemy monster. Well, technically you can, or I guess, nah. That's another deal. That's another deal for another day. Now what do I do from here? Because I almost have I have a lot of the framework set up. I just need a little bit more. I think we need a little bit more, and we can finish up the framework, right? What's missing is battle. Oh, right. We need a battle framework. We need the framework for the battle. That means entering the tournament and going to the battle. Then we have printing our stats. I sort of have that set up. If I expand on it, that should be okay. We have that covered, sort of. We need training. Training will effectively be things like, what is it? That's that, and plus that, I think. Add stat? Add stat. Yeah, actually, I think we do want an add stat. And with an add stat, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit differently. So instead of huh. Well, okay. Here's the thing. Do I need the set stat function if I can go ahead and call add stat? Actually, no, I don't need it. I'm not gonna overthink this one. This is just these stats plus value, and I'm gonna return value, which means this is the amount that I increased the stat by. Or it's the amount that I decreased the stat by, because I should be able to support negative values. Which means if I plug in a -1 here, if it shouldn't be add stat, then it should be, mod stat? Mod stat. I think I can call it mod stat. If I modify my stat by a 1, it'll just increase it by 1. Do I want to call it mod or do I want to call it set or add? Which one is... I'm just gonna call it add stat. That just makes more sense to me. That's what I'm used to. It looks better. Okay. We do not need a subtract stat. Negative values are okay. The last thing we want to do here is... maybe, like, get all C stat, right? Well, that's kind of hard to do, right? How are you gonna do that? Yeah, I think I'd rather go ahead and, like, have this awkward line of printing out things. Wait. Then, okay. No, I will be printing things, though. I'm not sure if I want to print out. I'm not sure if I want to give the function a print function. Well, but then the question begins, it's like, well, then how do you know the size, right? And how are you gonna access it? It's not gonna be flexible then. I'm gonna have to, adjust things every single time. I guess it's fine, though, because the only way you're going to be able to do any of this is through the status menu. So it's going to... I guess we'll have to just stick with the for loop, right? Maybe. I might also have to include a switch case for each of the stats too. Because right now, all it gives is just stats, right? But you need to go ahead and do this. You need to be able to say, okay, I want to print this and print that. Well, I guess if that's the case, right? Since it's like individually different, I could make like a structure, like just like another array, and store the names of each character, well, each stat, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. At this point, I might end up just making like a dictionary, you know? But then that's, I don't think I need it. I hopefully shouldn't. Yeah, I remember I was debating whether I wanted to do this or not a while back as well. I guess I changed my mind a lot. Yeah, I'm flipping back and forth. You know, next time I see this, I'm gonna go, do I really want to do this? Right? But I think it should be fine. I think this is okay. And it makes a little bit more sense. I hope. For the current me, it does. Maybe future not will go, no, I'm gonna change it again. It looks too complicated. Yeah. Yeah, I really like this. It's quite nice. Also, what's also interesting is that when I include global.h, I didn't include monster. I think that automatically did it for me with with this thing right here. Actually, I could remove this entirely. Watch. And the program will not yell at me. So, hey. Maybe I just might include global for everything actually. So all of the files can access it proper. But I'm gonna keep that there for now, just in case I do a little flub up back. Little flub up, or yeah. So actually no. I'm gonna remove it. I'm gonna make sure that if I do anything dumb, I'll look at that and go, oh right. It's all in global. All in global. Perfect. Things are going quite well. Yeah, see, now I don't have to do this. Why do that when you just have one thing and call it good, right? Set, we have up. Not set, we had up. Huh. Oh, I see, okay. Oh, we did have a print. We did have a print stats. Oh, I see. I guess that's not too bad then. It's like 10 lines. And it does exactly what it's advertised. Yeah. I think that might be what we do. We have that. Gonna need a little bit more afterwards. It's gonna get P-stat and skills, right? Oh, yeah, with skills, you're right. That actually makes the skills a lot more flexible, too. Let me take a look again. So, keep in mind, right now we have 3 different skills, right? So I could go ahead and make this a 3-dimensional array. Well, no, I want to call it 3-dimensional. Sort of? Well, I guess it kind of is, right? I could make this a 3-dimensional array. By going, okay, let me demonstrate. we just have skills. Just 3, right? It would be like something like that, right? You know, like stylize it so it looks like this. You have like a big fat matrix going on here. Something like that. You could have this old fat skill looking thing. Make it nicer, I guess. Yeah, this actually looks nicer. Hang on. We're thinking proper indentation. Yeah, something like that. Okay, throw them out like that, but that looks a little less tidy. Yeah, I could make this 3 dimensions. That works. That works as well. Because what I can do is I can say, well, I want the first skill 0. And then I want its ID, right? So that's 0 and 0 for positions 1 and 1. And then wait, hold on. Sorry. I want its not its ID. I'm looking at not the ID yet. I'm looking at what's it called? What's it called again? What did I call it? It was the aspect, right? Characteristic. I'm looking at which characteristic, right? Because we have 1 of 3 characteristics. So 0 means I'm looking at this 0 characteristic. And 0 here means I'm looking at the ID. So that would return this value right here. Highlighting. I'll change it. Change it. So that's this 1 right here. That's the value we want. We're grabbing. Or if I say, okay, I want to look at skills 1. I want to look at the second skill. Then just doing this, calling it like this, actually grabs this entire row here. That grabs you the entire thing. And I think if I do this, I might be able to iterate through the system a little bit better. A little bit quicker. Because if I want to print out all 3 skills, right, I'm going to have to go, for each skill, I need to print this value. Well, for each skill, and for each characteristic, I need to print this value. So it's an IJK problem. There. So that's how we're going to iterate through things, and that saves me a little bit of time from doing things like, okay, I'm gonna have to iterate through skill 1, then I'm gonna have to copy and paste the same thing except change the name for the skill, right? Or I'm gonna have to go, oh, what skill, like if skill ID is whatever, right? I won't need to include if statements. All I do is I just look at the right index and I call it good. So this is our new skills. This is our new skills data structure. Forget about what you saw here. It's all gone. We're gonna keep the skill name though. That might maybe be a problem. Maybe. I might leave that out. Well, no, I can't exactly leave that out. It's gonna be there. Yeah. Yeah. okay, actually. Mm-hmm. I think so. So I'm actually gonna put comments here. This is skill 1. This is skill 2. And this is skill 3. Oh! That looks very nice, right? So characteristic 1, characteristic 2, and characteristic 3 inside of it. Yeah. Yeah. That looks very nice. Very, very nice. Then I guess I want to go into what else do I want to add right now? We want a skill set skill, right? Maybe. I don't know. We're gonna have to do the same thing for all of that. We want them. And then what's the last one? I don't know what you would call that, right? I guess a char. No. Value. It's gonna. That's right. That's gonna be our actual value. Wait, no. Not yet. Not yet. We do want a value, but before that, we have to go into what would be a good name for it? I don't know. I'm gonna call it C. And A, B, and C. That's a horrible naming convention. Don't ever do that. I lied. What do you even call this then? Like, character, I mean, value? No, wait. Right? Because, like, it's a type of characteristic, right? I guess? I think that'll do. I'll put that in there for now. I'll comment it out because I'm not sure if I like how many numbers I need to take in to actually call something like that. You get me? It's like, yeah, sure, the end result is kind of straightforward, but holy moly, if I want to go ahead and like grab that somewhere else or adjust something, I'm always gonna be taking. That's probably why I was like, do I really want to do it this way? Because there's benefits to both ways. Well, you know what? I made this bet. I'm gonna lie in it now. This is fine. I think this is okay. That's the light of the day. Everything has been going quite smoothly, honestly, today. So, no real complaints here. If it works, it works. It should be fine. If it works, it works. Those are the two things that were. Oh, I don't need to look at that. I'll probably close one of these. Now, I think the next thing we want to do here is set up a base. I want to maybe call it like a dictionary, or at least just the storage of what is what, because I need like the whole list of skills, right? Like I'll make a fat comment here. So I need things like ID to name, right? Skill ID to name. I need a skill ID to name deal, or I just have 0 is none, right? None. 1 is melee, right? For physical. Then we have stuff like 2 energy, right? Things like that. Or not just any energy, but like fire energy, you know? Something like that. Or maybe I don't need to worry about elements too much. That would be another mess. Yeah. Or yeah, no, actually, don't just say energy. Yeah, we can call it like fire, right? Like fire damage, or we can call this like heal. Things like that, right? Things like that. Then I also want things like oh, max potential, because each ID should have some sort of max potential. We have fire, heal. You'll see these are like 100s, right? So you can train them to their maximum, and then they'll deal extra multipliers on a skill, right? But you'll still be limited by, your base stats that you've trained, right? So you need to train everything. You need to max everything out. Next is things like what's it called? Maybe I want to do something like a reflect, right? And I give it like a value of 50 only. Oh, whatever that means. Right? Or maybe what I can do is I can set certain thresholds for certain skills. And, well, for certain skill types. And instead of having like a different max potential, all max potentials are at 100 from the get-go. I could do that, and I could be like, okay, so, if you train up to like 33, then you train up to 33, right? Like, that's just how it is. I don't think I need to adjust maximum potential that way then. So, well, yeah, so like, say like we have like more incremental skills, like what is it? Multi-hit, right? Okay, multi-hit has a max potential of 100, like all other skills, but you know that multi-hit has a thresh. Oh, I wonder how I wanna describe how do I want to like describe that then? Because if see like if multi-hit has a potential of 5, because I enable you to strike 5 times at most with multi-hit, then how do I train that, right? Then I would have to check every single ID. Hmm. And so all the potentials, I guess, should like be 100. If that's the issue. And what we do here is we can be like, okay, so for every increment of like 20 in that potential, you're actually going to get plus 20 unless you need specific items to train specific skills. Or we can divide skills with another, what's it called? Or I could divide the skills by another variable, but I would need to record that. I would need another variable to do that with. And then I would need to divide skills by certain types, right? Those that have 100 potential, because it makes sense for them to grow by 100s, and those that grow by 1s, which require a different type of, I suppose, a different type of growth or a different type of trading, because they require a lot more investment, right? Well, actually, no. Yeah, actually, that's correct. That is correct. Because each skill type should have its own cost to train. Okay, so then we have max potential, and we also have cost to train. Right? We have those 4 things. I think that they're necessary. They're necessary. That might have to be, they all might have to be recorded that way. I might not have another choice unless I take extra hoops. Take extra hoops that I'm not sure about, but I'm sure this works in my head. Next then I do need, I believe, not skill ID, but what is it? I needed something else. I had it at the tip of my tongue. Skill potential, right? Well, no, not potential. Sorry, not potential. Skill effects, I think, right? I'm not sure how that works. No, wait. The potential already stores the effects. Skill effect logic. I need to store skill effect logic here, right? Or math somewhere. So what happens is I check skill IDs, all the operational call the operational HID. And I call the operational logic for each ID. I think that's how it works. So say I have a skill with physical, fire, and heal, right? It has all three of those. So what happens is it takes a look at physical, right? It takes a look at one, and it's like, okay, what is that? That's a physical attack, right? So it calculates damage, and it looks at that, and maybe let's say adds to like a global damage total. So add to damage, right? And then we take a look at 2, and it's fire. So we do the calculations for fire. And let's say fire takes a look at fire resistance instead of physical resistance, right? Or energy resistance. So you have that. It's like, okay, so we add the damage again. And then with 3, we take a look at heal. So let me actually physical. Let me map this out for myself. Fire and then heal, right? So we do that. Add to self heal, right? Add to self heal, and then after we do that, we resolve, right? Resolve. Apply damage and self heal, right? We do all of that. So that's how it reads it. Which means, right here, this is where the logic for each ID should be stored, right? So depending on what ID we look at here, and it does that logic for us, right? Next is, I believe, all this is like all database stuff. Maybe I can go, well, instead of storing it in global, maybe I should store it in data, like another file. Well, maybe not in global. What does global do? Because like this is technically global information. It's not everything needs it. That's also sort of true. It's okay. Yeah, because like this is probably like just like combat stuff too, right? Maybe. Well, like this is like, that's true. So should data be global? Like in our case here? Maybe not. You're right. It should be separate. But I'll leave it in here for now. Because worst case scenario, we just look at this thing and it works. Well, worst case it doesn't work, but it should work. There's no reason why it shouldn't. What else? So after we have our study, we have our skill effects. Oh, what else? What else do I need? There's more. There's a little bit more. Do I want to store the enemy? Maybe no. Enemy AI is something different. Yeah. I need to program that, but that is definitely something different. Build data. Oh right. Another database. Right. Another database issue is not issue. Something I need to store could be what's it called? Monster type. Special traits. Monster type traits. So monster type traits, right? So for each potential, right? We have something like slime, and then at 10, we get better defense, new trait, 20, new trait, something like that, right? And we have dragon, we have, 10 new trait, 20, another trait, so on and so forth. And so we have that. And then we also need to record trait effects. Trait effects. Also go here. And maybe combine with skill effects. This might combine with skill effects, actually. And then we can sort of do a dynamic deal where I go ahead and set up common effects, right? So what happens here is, say you have like physical, right? It's more than just physical, right? It's actually a more general damage it's a more general damage operation. So we can put physical underneath that. Same with healing and whatnot. Because heal is, it's a negative damage. Technically it's negative damage, but we have various things that calculate that. Now, one interesting thing I think I want to try is make what if healing is actually lessened by your defense and magic defense. So what happens here is that because it's harder for you to take damage in the first place, you're a lot sturdier, it's harder for you to recover that damage. It's sort of an equivalent exchange, but you can always also invest in, better healing, like increasing the stat that you're healing with and everything. So that is potentially, pretty good. Where the logic should be stored, like what stats the skill uses, how it uses them. Right. Okay. It's very good. I think this is our next step then, I think. Although I am abandoning some of like the menu jobs here. Maybe I should flush those out. Maybe I should flush out the status menu right now. Just to make sure it prints out everything as intended before I move on. But I do have set up, I did set up what I need to work on now. C stats is washed. We can actually remove all of this because okay, so that's what I have right now. Let me actually go back in here and paste that, because let's paste everything over there. Yeah. For now, and then I think I've pasted everything from here as well. Yeah, there's that. There's that. Alright, actually gonna delete it. We don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. Wait, did I delete something wrong? I don't think so. So far, so good. So far, so good. Okay, all good. Oh, you're bad. I don't need that anymore. I don't need that anymore. No more C stats. Yes, I'll clean. Maybe I'll regret that and go, I should have left the number deals to the rest of that, so I wouldn't have to do all of this instead. I think it's okay, because at some point yeah, I think it's okay. Because at the end of the day, I could just say, let me merge, like, all the menus together, right? There's no reason why I couldn't, like, merge all the monster information into one big file. It just makes things a little easier to comb through sometimes, but at this level, I think I can handle it. Maybe. I might come to regret that. It's okay though. So far, so good. You might have noticed that what I'm doing is actually quite bare bones. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm not like using pointers. I'm not using address dealing. I'm not dealing with addresses. Yeah, it's all very much grab and go. Very simple. Very simple. And I think I want to keep it that way until I can't anymore. And yeah, I'm not doing anything extra like making stats go, like making extra variables or anything. So actually the only thing that like is being recorded and edited is actually the one and only global deal. I think we're doing it. Okay, yeah. I like that. And that is good progress today. Let's go. Right. And yeah, that will be all for today. So, wherever you are, have a good rest of your day. And wait. No, that's not how the line went. The line went was, thanks for watching, and yeah, thanks for tuning in. And wait, how'd it go again? I've been your host, not? Right? Right, okay, so it's, thanks for tuning in. Yes, thanks for watching. I've been your host, not, and wherever you are, have a good rest of your day. お、すなでした。